Good morning, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill, and in today's video we are going to reupholster the driver's seat of the F350. Now, as you can see, the bottom's got some few rips in it. It's a little torn up. The back is a little torn up, and being 14 years old and 250,000 miles on there, that cushion is pretty well worn. So what we have is ordered this from the seatshop.com. Not a paid promotion by them or anything. I actually did order it. It was recommended to me, so I'm giving them a shot. We have the back, we got the back piece all new, nice and cushioned. Everything looks nice. I mean, as far as material go, this thing seems very nice. Hopefully it fits well. And we got the bottom cover here as well. It's inside out, but this is what the inside is. It's just padding, a little bit of padding, not a whole lot. And then this cushion itself. And then we also have, and then in this box we have entirely new piece of seat foam. So I'm feeling the difference between that and this is night and day. So we'll see how comfortable it is once everything's installed. I do know in order to get started, we do have to remove this plastic piece. So it looks like there's a screw inside of here, screw underneath there. I don't know if this just pops off or what. There's a couple of little plastic rivets I'll have to pry out of there. Plastic piece back here. So pull that apart, and then we should be able to see how the rest of the seat comes apart and how we can get that all taken care of. So let me get my tools together and figure out what tool I need to get this off of there, and we'll pick back up. All right, so the wheel, the lumbar wheel, whatever it is, that actually just pulls off. You see it's kind of wedged in there. It just used two panel remover tools on each side and pried it off. It came off fairly easy. There's a screw here holding this handle on, a screw back there, a screw back there. There's this plastic pin, and I tried pulling that out using the panel tool, but it ended up breaking. So not happy about that. And so instead of trying to mess with these plastic rivets and possibly breaking them, realized that it just go into this plastic piece here. So I just went ahead and disconnected, unscrewed the two screws there, and it looks like we just need to disconnect our wiring harness there, and then everything will pull off. So it's just two more screws in there. Disconnect this harness. I don't see anything else holding this on. I think we'll be able to slide it right off. All right, so got the plastic piece off. Yeah, just had to pull it up and over that, and it slid forward. I could have left these two screws into the plastic and left this connected, because I had to disconnect this anyway and just pull it out through the hole, which leaves these two connectors. They're still connected to the top part of the chair. So I'm just gonna try to get in there, pull those away. There we go, without breaking the tabs on those, so we could put those back in there. Make sure we're disconnected, because next I'm just going to pull this whole bottom bracket off. So it's just these 4 bolts in the corners. Take that, so then the track portion of the chair will be off and out of the way. All right, so those 4 bolts came off, and it was still stuck, and I realized it was over here. So I was wondering what that other wiring was for, since I don't have seat warmers in here, and it was because it's going to the seat belt buckle there. So just have to pull that out there. Now the base is disconnected. I see all the crap that was underneath there, so I'll definitely get that cleaned up. Get this metal cleaned up a little bit, make sure all the tracks are, excuse me kitty, make sure all the tracks are clean and oiled, greased, whatever they need to be, and then we could continue here. So I think should be good. We should be able to just disconnect these two pieces. I'm not sure exactly how they are connected. I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe this bolt, and there's another bolt under there or something. Let me figure that out and I will let you know. All right, so actually before I could take this apart, there's two screws holding this cable in, the lumbar support cable, and so that could pull apart. So then you see the little ball in there should be able to pull this out, and then yeah, that pulls out. So then when you pull this apart, it will come apart, and then to pull it apart and take these two bolts out, I guess it's supposed to be just a pin on that side. So once you take these two bolts out, you should be able to pull this away and pull the pin out on that side, and they will be disconnected. Okay, yeah, you can see where the pin is going through right there. Just gotta push that through, I guess. And then we can pull this wire through. Sorry, I know the camera's probably super shaky right now. Trying to do this all with one hand. So, no, there we go. All right. So now we got the tops and the bottom pieces. That was just getting everything ready. Now the fun really begins. We're going to take this seat apart, which should just take a flathead screwdriver or anything that will be able to pry these clips. Now unfortunately, it's actually, make sure I'm still in the camera, it is a little chilly out today. I'd have preferred if I had a little heat out here. I imagine it would make these seats a bit more pliable. I appear to be damaging this clip a bit. There we go. But now that it's coming off, it's alright. So yeah, I might have to bring a heater out here or something to heat, so the new ones heat up a little bit and they're a little more pliable before I attempt to put them on. These clips are coming off fairly easy. So we just got these. I'm gonna start peeling things back. I said not to peel it off, just to peel the corners up and turn it inside, or turn it inside out. Not sure how well you can see in there, but there's Those little metal bull ring clips. It seems to be going down like where these seams are in the seats. They're going down there. I don't know if there's any going across. Yeah, it feels like so. Where all these seams are, there's those little metal hooks. So you gotta work on, let's get the screwdriver and pliers and pull those apart. That'll probably take me a little while. So just pull these rings apart so you can pull the rest of this apart. And yeah, I can tell already the condition of this cushion compared to that new cushion. It's going to be night and day. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's probably going to take me a while to go through, open up all these rings. So I'll pick back up when I've gotten them off. Is removed, or old seat leather. Let's see how these hooks go in and around. It's gonna be pulled out. Looks like the only thing we have holding that cushion on now is these two panel. Pull those out. Pull those out. We can pull our entire cushion off of there. There's the old cushion. If you can see in there, it's got that bar going through it, and that's what those clamps hook to hold the seat together. This is the new one. And you can see that, look, see the bars in there. That's what the hooks clamp to. See this side piece is not completely blown out and squished in. So I think we're going to be a little more comfortable going here. Should be just as nice. Setting that back down into place. We got our new cushion. It's just sitting on top of there. And we've got our new cover, and we have to reverse engineer it. So just like we took those clips off, we've got to put new clips on. We got, let me grab the clips and the pliers. Basically it's just like a staple, and you just put the clip into the pliers like so. Get this positioned so it's under the bar. I'm gonna get this top piece in there. We're gonna try to at least. Now this is going to be a battle, I could see, getting these back in. I don't know if these are necessarily the best pliers in the world for this either, but they're the ones they had available. All right, so there we go. It's actually not too bad once you can get it into place. But then hold it in place, put the clips around. So I'm going to just, same order I took it off. This back one, this top one, and then do the outside edges. So and I'm guessing that's probably going to be the easiest way. I want to make sure we're in position there. So yeah, I'm just going to go through do as many of these as I can. Looks like 2 back here, and then 3 up there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. Do that, and then I'll check back in with you. We've got all the clips in. Everything looks good. We're ready to flip this right side out. Now it says kind of just push out, so you're pushing the seam to the corners. And flip the side forward and do the same thing on the other side. I know I'm probably laying right in front of the camera here. Just trying to make sure these corners line up underneath as best as I can get them for now. Wrinkles in there. I went ahead and laid a piece of cardboard down on the ground. I didn't want to be rubbing this all over on the concrete and scuffing up the, I gotta pull that out. This was the one Christmas tree thingy that I broke off, so I'll just go by. I probably actually have a bunch of these laying around somewhere, but if not, I'll just go by the auto parts store, get some. But our piece is lined up, our foam is lined up on the piece. First clip is on. It's actually sliding on a whole lot easier than I thought it would. I guess because that foam is, I'm able to. Now this would probably be the hardest one. So, looks like foam isn't completely on there. So I spoke too soon about how easy that was going on. So close. Well, we got half of the clip on this. There we go. I think we have ourselves a bottom piece. I got those lines, but I said these two here went down in the crack they're in the spaces in the cushion where those bars are and clipped in. I did 4 on each side. And then there's a bar that goes into this crease. And I have 3 clips in this one, and then just 2 clips in this one back here. And then there's a little indention, but no bar for this one. But there's a little indention for the seam, just so the seam can fall into there nicely without and not poke out. So, and the material, this material feels great. It's not shiny like the old stuff is because it hasn't been treated. It's just clean vinyl and leather. I think the outsides are vinyl and the inserts are leather. Whatever the stock mixture of vinyl and leather are. But I mean, it all feels great. It feels really nice, especially compared to the old stuff that pulled out. It's soft. Yeah, old stuff is really thick and hard feeling, kind of like it's going to crack and crunch if you sit on it or squeeze it too hard, where this actually is pliable. Cushion is much softer. So yeah, the bottom is done. That actually went much easier than expected. Putting those hog rings in is not that hard. I thought it would be more difficult, but if you get these lined up and then just get the ring lined up in there and then get it around there, you have to push into the cushion and move around a bit. But it's pretty easy to get in there. I thought these were going to be cheap and hard to use. They work great. The only thing is, if you were doing a lot of seats with it, I would recommend getting better ones. The mechanics of them work fine. It's just that it's a very thin edge. It's just, 2 pieces of metal, so you're squeezing on a very thin edge, and that would hurt. And just doing this one seat, I was like, man, these handles suck. So if you had some that had better rounded handles, so it didn't dig into your fingers in just one spot, it'd be much better. But these were the cheap ones they had on site available at the time I was ordering it, part of the install kit. So I mean, for what they are, they work really good. After you do the first 2 rings, get the first 2 rings going, it's pretty easy after that once you get it figured out and do it a couple of times. So for that, not too bad. But like I said, if you're doing a lot of these, and you could do that and wrap these, I guess. But I would just get ones that had actual rounded handles instead of just these flat ones. But I think that's it for our bottom piece. Going to go ahead and move over to the top piece, which should be a bit more fun. That's a bigger piece, a little bit more coverage. And I don't think it's going to be as forgiving because we don't have a new cushion for that. We're just reusing the old cushion and putting a new piece of leather over top. Now this has just got 1 clip here along the bottom here, and it just clips into itself. Alright, so then that comes apart. Now this is actually Velcroed in. It's got the hog rings as well. I think it's right here and right here are the hog rings. But along the sides there, instead of hog rings, it is Velcroed in. You can see it's kind of just trying to pull the Velcro apart as much as I can. And then let's start rolling this inside out. This cushion's going to be a little dirty because it had a hole. But I'm just trying to roll this all back inside out up till I get to that first hog ring spot. Alright, so we're at the first hog ring spot. We got those 3 rings off. It's harder than it should have been, but I'll go ahead and pull this up the rest of the way. We got some plastic in here. And we got 3 more hog rings there. And once you pull those off, that's it. The rest should come off. I'm just going to go ahead and actually cut this out of here. Now, just wanted to cut that off of there so I could actually get a better look at these. Not sure why that plastic's in there. Maybe it's helping to with the install to get this going. But yeah, I just went ahead and cut that 'cause I'm not reusing that cushion, and I don't want to mess up this cushion when I'm getting these rings off of there. So just went ahead, cut that piece out. And you see this bar, the hog ring bar that's in there is already kind of coming out. So I don't want to pull on that too much, so I went ahead, expose those completely. It'll make it easier to get these off without messing up the cushion. So I'll get that done, and I will get the new leather cover prepared. This is the old one, as you see, just rolled inside out to come off, and I'll just roll the new one inside out like this and kind of start from the top and roll it down, and hopefully it'll go fairly smoothly. Stood this up and I've been pushing down on the top. I got the cover inside out except for just the headrest. I've been shoving on there and pushing from the top. So now this top snap ring or hog ring, I should be able to get those 3 across the top there, and then we'll start rolling everything down. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those in. All right, I'm just gonna start trying to roll it down until we get to the next one. Roll it down to there. Before I snap that in, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this Velcro line in here. Pressed it in. All right. Stand this up again. Try to roll everything down and into place. Yeah, so we got the cushion on there. Looks like our seams are a little bit off here and over here. So I'm just gonna push everything around. Now, I'm just gonna push stuff around until everything kind of lines up, and then just closes. This is gonna snap over top of that one to seal up, and then we're done. We just gotta put things together. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time and kind of push around in here, get everything lined up completely, and then we'll work on getting the seat back together. Now we are at the point where we are ready to put things back together. There's a little flap here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Let me. So there's a little flap here on the bottom piece. Just push in so you can access that pin. And then also we'll put this down through there for the lumbar. We want this pin. I'm gonna try to get that pin. On the outside of this piece, we got on there. And then, in order to bolt this or attach the seat back together completely, there are 2 bolts, one here, one here. We do not have any holes already cut in here, so I'm gonna see where they line up. So here's one. I'm gonna make sure we're pulling this tightly. There's the one, and then the other, this is already pulled pretty tight. I'm gonna get my first bolt and try to get this lined up so I can alright, so I gotta push through the leather. Now I can get it lined up to the actual spot in the seat. I'll go ahead and tighten that down just a plenty of room and get that reconnected. Now this just goes through and there's a hole, and then there's 2 regular Phillips head screws that were holding that in. So I'll go ahead and get this one in. So now we have another hole we're going to have to cut. Alright, so I got that hole figured out. I went ahead and loosened those screws back up so I could easier. There we go. So we have the plastic piece back in place. Now let's go ahead and redo these screws. You just need to reconnect. I've got these 4 10mm bolts. I should have put those in before I put that on. I got a little ahead of myself like normal, but nothing a long extension on there and the socket won't fix. Alright, so I don't know exactly where my camera died, but we got everything put back together. There's a couple little creases and stuff that I think should work themselves out. A little bit of wrinkle up to here. I mean, all in all, turned out a lot better and easier than I thought it was going to be. I've always watched these videos and thought, yeah, that's not something I really want to attempt to do. It seemed very tedious and painstaking, but it actually was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Like I said, the hardest thing I had getting it back together was that plastic piece, which seems like that would be a very simple thing to do. But for some reason that kicked my butt, but the rest of everything else went smoothly. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this in the truck. So I got the seat in. In the back here, it's just 1 bolt, or 1 nut, 1 bolt. I just have to push the chair all the way forward to get to the back ones. Move it all the way back. And you can easily get to the front ones. And compare it's pretty close match. Everything else is shiny. It's been wiped down and treated and dealt with over the years. It's definitely more cushiony. I gotta jump up in here and see how it feels. Oh yeah, matte and much softer this is. I really cleaned up and got rid of some of that shine and treated that. I could probably renew it to get it a little softer looking, like this is, or you know, this will eventually. I do need to wipe that down. It's a little dusty from working, but yeah. As far as the cushion goes and getting rid of the rips, looks a million times better. Now, the old one did have lariat stitched in here, like that did. You could get that done, redone. The seat shop would do embroidery, anything like that. I chose not to, and I'll show you why over on the other side. Yeah, so, and see, I definitely need to do the bottom cushion on this. I wish I could find the actual cushion itself, because that's kind of torn up as well. But yeah, I need to do the bottom. Might do the top, but I don't know if you could see it. If you look at it from an angle, you could see like where there's like, I don't know, the piece that's sewn into the back. It just looks like, I don't know, like this was an add-on or glued in, or it just doesn't look right. I don't like it so much, because especially as old as it is now and worn, you can really tell that difference. So I just went ahead and left the embroidery out. If I do redo this seat, I'll do the same. And I did do the perforated seats as well. This does not have the perforated seats, the stock ones. But you see, the new one does. You have an option choice of perforated or not. I thought I liked the perforated look a little bit better, so I went ahead and did that. I said I'll probably end up doing the passenger. I definitely want to do the bottom. If I'm taking the chair apart anyway, I might as well do the whole thing. That way these two will match. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I mean, this centerpiece is all broken up, and been trying to find just that, and it's not working out. I could just replace this with a piece of wood or something, or I might just take this jump seat out and do like a custom center console in here. I haven't completely figured out what I want to do with that yet, but I might end up going that route. And then if I do, I could put the sub that I have back behind that seat, I could put into the box, or build that into a center console. And then I could put these seats back down. I don't know if I showed you this. I don't think I've made a video about this, but the seats were too tight up against the box. I wanted to figure out how to get the seats off the box a little bit. I found, I think it's LMI or something like that. I'll look it up. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. But welding, and they just made these brackets. It raises the seat up 2 inches, so that lifted the seat up off of the box a bit, so it gave it some room. So I have that. But if I do end up doing a custom center console, I'll build the speaker box into that probably, and then just put this back down on the ground like normal. So I don't necessarily love the way that looks with those brackets there, but it did the job. It got the seat up off of the speaker a little bit, so I could get these back seats up and let the speaker actually work. But I think that's enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, hit that thumbs down button and let me know. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.